Now, I mentioned earlier about there's vertical dilation. There's also going to be horizontal dilation. Now, at the top it says horizontal dilation are also affect the frequency of sinusoidal functions. So let's talk about the concept. Frequency of sine and cosine functions. The concept, as stated from the textbook, the frequency of a sinusoidal function is the number of cycles the function completes in a 1-unit interval. The frequency is the reciprocal of the period. So the frequency is the reciprocal of the period, meaning the flip fraction, the flip version of the period. That's what it basically means. Now, for the symbol, as stated, the formula on how to find frequency is, as stated from the textbook, for y equals a sine of bx plus c plus d, and y equals a cosine of bx plus c plus d, frequency is equal to 1 over the period, or the absolute value of b over 2 pi. So, in order to find your frequency, you would put 1 over the period. That's what you would do for reciprocal, or you would just put the absolute value of b over 2 pi. Now, as stated before, if b is a whole number or a decimal number, you're fine. But if it's a fraction and it's over 2 pi, you still have to simplify that frequency, that fraction. Can't just leave it like that. You can't just leave a fraction over a whole number. You still got to simplify. Now, you, again, will be able to know how to simplify well once we practice those. Now, let's take a look at the picture of the graph. Frequency is when how many times it's oscillating, going up and down, within one given unit or one given cycle. So keep in mind that when I'm talking about cycle, it's different from period. So keep that in mind. So if you have a restricted cycle, then you are able to find the frequency. Now again, cycle is different from period. And so there's a little information about it at the bottom. It says, because the frequency of a sinusoidal function is the reciprocal of the period, it follows that the period of a function is the reciprocal of its frequency. So what I mean by that statement is, if you know your frequency, all you have to do is do the reciprocal to find period. If you know the period, all you have to do is do the reciprocal and find its frequency, meaning that period and frequency are heavily related to each other. So if you know one, you can find the other. That's what basically the statement is saying.